Why, hello, little ones. It's a pleasure to see you again. Have you been well since the last time that we were together? I do hope so. We care ever so much about each and every one of you. That's why we created the safe space, so that no matter where you go or what kind of a day you're having, you'll always have a place to come and listen to the stories. And if you're brave enough to give us your name, you can have a sheep in the flock as well. And since the last time, we've had so many new sheep that we had to change the flock to be very, very special. Would you like to see? Excellent. All right. Let's have a look then, shall we?
I see Aaron and Alice and Alicia and Andrew, Amalia, Amelia, Amy, Andrea, Angel, Anne, Ash, Azili, Bibi, Beep, Billy, Blue, Brownie, Bunny, Candy, Cara, Carol, Cassie, Chantel, Charlie, Christopher D, Claire, Cody, Connor, Crystal, Danny, Diana, Dodie, E, Ellie, Elliot, Millie, Eve, Evelyn, Finn, Freak, FTM, Glitter, God's Angel System, Gracie, Hannah, Hyphen, Isabel, Jack, Jaxie, Jenny and Jane, John, Kai, Karen, Kate, Kinsu, Kit, Lemmy, Layla, Left, Leo, Lily, Little Llama, Lizzie, Luca, Lunar System, Marigold, Mason, Maribel, Mia, Niles, Mimi, Minnie, Mrs., Misty, Nikki, Nobody, Nothing, Orchid, Oscar, Oxys, Pan, Pearl, Pippin, Potato, Pumpkin, Raja, Rosie, Scarlet, Sarah, Seven, Sierra, Shicey, Sunny, Sunshine, Susie, Timmy, Titch, Thomas, Torin, Tutu, and Yuki.
And you know what? Those are all your names on the sheep in the flock. So, if you'd like a sheep too, and you're brave enough to tell us your name, we'll make sure to add one just for you. Would you like that? Excellent. Now then, it's getting very close to Christmas time, isn't it? And I thought it would be an excellent idea if we read a Christmas story again. So, this time I've chosen a wonderful story. It's the Poky Little Puppy's First Christmas. You remember the Poky Little Puppy, don't you? Excellent. But what have I done with it? It's not over here by Bitsy and Bo Peep and the flock, and it's not over here by Betsy and the castle. I wonder where it could be. I know. Let's have a look in the chest, shall we? Excuse me, Mr. Bear, we'll have to move you. Isn't he a lovely bear? He's so terribly pink, and he has this perfectly lovely heart with a terribly important word written on it. Do you know what it says? Yes, love. L-O-V-E. Love. And that is a terribly important word to remember, because you are loved. All right, Mr. Bear? We'll set you down there while we open up the chest. What's this? More books. And sure enough, here's the book we're looking for. The Poky Little Puppy's First Christmas. All right, we'll let you hold that, Mr. Bear, while we close up the chest. So you'll have a place to sit and listen to the story too. Up you go. Excellent. Now then, are you ready? Do you have your blankie or your stuffie or your favorite toy? If not, go and get them. We'll be right here waiting for you. Do you have them now? Excellent. All right. Snuggle up, everyone, and put your best listening ears on as we read The Poky Little Puppy's First Christmas.
The Poky Little Puppy's First Christmas by Justine Coleman. Illustrations by Jean Chandler. When the winter sun peeked through the window of the McCrae's house that morning, 4 little puppies tumbled out of bed and played until it was time for breakfast. Polly, Penny, Pickles, and Pat ate at 4 bowls in a row, their 4 little tails a-wagging. "But where in the world is that Poky little puppy?" their mother wondered. Poky was still fast asleep. His mother nudged him and said, "Come on, Poky, today is Christmas Eve." Poky yawned and stretched. Even on a special day like Christmas Eve, he was still Poky. 4 little puppies rode on a sled pulled by Tommy McCrae. But where in the world was the Poky little puppy? He was saying goodbye to his mother. Poky promised he wouldn't be late. Then he ran across the yard to follow the sled. At the edge of the yard was a gate, and outside the gate was a meadow. Across the meadow was a forest crowded with Christmas trees. The McCraes were going to the woods to find a tree. Poky wasn't sure why the family wanted a tree, but so far he loved Christmas Eve. The snow was white and bright, and it tickled his nose. Once he was in the woods, Poky sniffed a strange smell. He forgot about keeping up with his brothers and sisters. He forgot even to watch where he was going. Poor Poky stumbled, slipped, and slid down a deep, dark hole. "Help! Help!" he cried. Wouldn't someone come to help him out of the slippery, slidey hole? "I'll help you," said a friendly voice. "My name is Herman." Poky looked up to see a young skunk peering over the edge of the hole. Then Herman climbed down into the hole beside Poky. Soon he was pushing Poky from behind and helping him to climb up. Before long, the 2 of them were out of the hole. "You smell funny," said Poky. Herman sniffed. "You smell funny too," he said. "Let's have some fun." He led Poky up a winding path and down a hill to a frozen pond. Then he showed Poky how to slide back and forth across the cold, shiny ice. What fun! Poky remembered his mother telling him that Christmas Day was even better than Christmas Eve, but Poky couldn't believe anything could be better than this. Not far away through the wintry woods, the McCraes were having fun too. Tommy pointed to a fir tree beside a hollow log. "That's the perfect tree!" he exclaimed. His sister, Kate, agreed. Mr. McCrae raised his axe and whack, whack, whacked until crack! The tree fell. It fell over onto the old hollow log, and the 4 little puppies barked excitedly. Poky heard Pickles call, "Poky! Come on, Poky!" He remembered his promise not to be late, but he wondered if he would see his new friend again. "It's easy to find me," Herman said. "I live in a hollow log just over that hill." Poky ran up a hill and down another and through the snowy woods towards home. Suddenly he saw something in the snow and stopped. Poky sniffed the strange object up and down and all around. He had found an old red rubber boot. The boot was too wonderful to leave behind, so Poky dragged it out of the woods, across the meadow, and into the McCrae's yard. I told you not to be late, Poky's mother scolded gently when he came through the gate. Look what I found, Poky exclaimed. His mother shook her head and said firmly, You can't take that messy, muddy old boot into the house. Sadly, Poky left the boot by the garden gate. After a tasty supper, the puppies helped decorate the Christmas tree. Poky sniffed at the fragrant green branches. Penny nibbled a strand of popcorn. When the tree was glowing with winking, blinking lights and shimmery, shiny glass balls, Poky's mother told her puppies all about Christmas. And to celebrate this special day, we give each other presents, she said at last. Will we get presents too? Asked Penny. Look under the tree tomorrow morning and you'll find out, said their mother. Then she sent the puppies to bed. Poky, of course, was the last to reach the cozy cushion where the puppies slept. His brothers and sisters soon fell asleep, dreaming of rubber balls, biscuits, and bones. Poky stayed awake, thinking sadly about his red rubber boot. On Christmas morning, the puppies raced to the tree and found the presents that they wanted. A toy mouse, Penny cried. A fluffy stuffed bear, Pat exclaimed. Biscuit, said Pickles with a sigh. Polly chased a brand new bouncing ball. Poky tore open his big package. My boot, he cried happily. It's all shiny and clean. After breakfast, a gentle snow started to fall. Poky's brothers and sisters went off to play in the meadow. Please don't be late for Christmas dinner, said Poky's mother. Then Poky ran out the gate, across the meadow, and into the woods to find Herman. The skunk was nowhere in sight, so Poky followed his nose. It took a long time, but Poky finally found a wet, cold, and miserable Herman. What happened? Poky asked. Herman said sadly, I'll show you. Poky followed the skunk up the hill to the hollow log that had been Herman's house. The McRaes had crushed it accidentally when they cut down their Christmas tree. Poor Herman. His home is all in splinters there in the snow, isn't it? Let's see what Poky can do to help him, shall we? Poky felt sorry for Herman. The little skunk was alone in the cold, snowy woods, and he had no home. So Poky took Herman home with him through the woods, across the meadow, and through the garden gate. Poky's mother was amazed to find that her puppy had made friends with a smelly skunk. But Poky's mother felt sorry for Herman too. That night she let him sleep in the doghouse she and her puppies shared in the summer. And Poky gave up his warm, cozy bed in the McRae's home to keep his friend company in the doghouse. How terribly noble Poky is. That's doing a lot for your friend, isn't it? The next morning, the most amazing thing happened. The Poky little puppy was the first one out of bed. Where in the world is that Poky little puppy? Everyone wondered. The puppies and their mother and Herman followed Poky's tracks in the cold, crunchy snow. They went out the gate, across the meadow, and right to the edge of the wintry woods. Poky saw his family and called, Come and look! Look at Herman's new home! Why, it's your boot! Poky's mother exclaimed. Go on in and try it, Poky told Herman, and the skunk wriggled into the cozy, dry boot. Merry Christmas, Herman, said Poky, even if it is a day late. Poky's mother was very proud of her puppy. It was only his first Christmas, but Poky had already learned that the best gifts of all are the ones that you give. Look, there's Herman sitting in his boot. He does look rather cozy, doesn't he? And good for Poky. Again, what a noble thing to do for a friend. He gave up something that was his very own to help his friend. Goodness. The end.
Wasn't that a wonderful story? The Poky little puppy there, being terribly kind and noble and selfless to give his very first Christmas present, his bright red boot, away to his friend instead for a home. You know, It can be like that on the inside as well as the outside sometimes. Whether you're on the inside or the outside, sometimes it's a good thing to be selfless. What is selfless? Why, it's exactly the opposite of being selfish, which is when you don't think of anyone other than yourself. Say, for example, there's a plate of cookies and you grab every single last one and eat them as fast as you can. Well, that may be good for you, but it doesn't leave any more cookies for anyone else, does it? That's being selfish. Now, being selfless is only taking one cookie, or maybe two, but leaving a lot for everyone else so that they can have a cookie too. Being selfless, thinking of others before yourself. So, the next time that you're tempted to be just a little bit selfish, think about the Poky little puppy instead, and how he was selfless and helped his friends, just like we can help everyone on the inside. I think that would be a good thing to do, don't you? Well, little ones, that's all for this time. We'd like to thank you for coming to the safe space to listen to our stories. And before we go, we have 3 very important things to remember, don't we? And I think it would be a good idea if we said them all together. So, always remember that you are loved, that you are strong, and that you are not alone. I'm Percival. Goodbye.